Hi everyone, I'm Sanjana and I have Seth Goldstein with me to talk about how to build an effective online presence for brands. Hi Seth, thanks much for coming.
Hi, everyone.
All right, Seth is the founder of Goldstein Media. He helps small and mid-sized businesses get online through a variety of digital marketing mediums. And Seth has about 30 years of experience in the marketing space. So he's the go-to person in marketing when it comes to content, WordPress, web design, SEO, you name it, right? So Seth,
Yeah, we're kind of busy. Yeah.
all right, welcome again, and I think we can get started.
Sounds good.
All right. I have so many questions to ask, but before that, let's start with this, right? How can a brand build its online presence from the scratch? Can you give us
Well,
some?
from scratch is tough, but you have to start somewhere, obviously.
Yeah.
And the idea is that if you have to start by getting the profile set up, get things rolling with that. Get a good headshot. Especially for let's talk about LinkedIn, for example. You have to have a good little bio on there, all your job experience. You also have to make sure you post. So post good articles, post things that are interesting to your industry, interesting to people, and add your comments to it. What you think about the post, what do you think about what's going on in the article. Don't just post articles with context. That kind of goes across the board, even in Instagram. If you post a photo, write a little paragraph about what people are seeing in the photo.
This applies to brands as well, or this applies to individuals?
I feel like Instagram can be both. I mean, I feel like it was started out as it for individuals, but it was quickly co-opted by businesses to advertise to individuals and to other business owners. I feel like Instagram's a good place to be. Twitter, if you're active, Twitter can be really good place. Facebook, their algorithm is kind of taking back, the reach that pages get. They still can be good if you have people following your page. People will see your content. So.
Okay. Okay. All right. And like you have more than 30 plus years of experience in this field, especially. So, like, what are some of the effective tactics when it comes to building an online presence?
uh, Effective tactics to building an online business would be um, really persistence. I mean, you start off, you get a good, decent website. I mean, even if you just start off with a simple one pager and just start building up from there, add your services, what you do, why people should hire, why people should work with you, a little background on who you are. I mean, that's really what you need. You need a basic one pager that you can eventually split out into multiple pages as it grows.
Okay. Okay. All right. And when it comes to small businesses and mid-sized businesses, uh, can they execute this single-handedly, or should they need a team? Like, who should they hire first? Should it be a marketer or a web designer?
It really depends on what they're doing in the space. I mean, if they're focusing more on the marketing side of things, sometimes you don't even need to hire anyone. You can contract out for when you need somebody. Another way is you can think about if you want to go the hiring route, pick your core competency that that you're not the best at, but that you can manage. Hire for that.
Okay, okay. And who should be hired first? Should it be a marketer first or a web
Hmm.
designer?
I mean, if you're going to web design, I think web design is the bread and butter if that's your business. But it really goes on to what your business is. I mean, if you're going to do advising people on taxes, you want to hire an accountant. If you're advising people on marketing with strictly marketing strategy, you want to hire a marketer. If your bread and butter is really going to be web design, then you're going to want to hire someone who can do at least the design, so you can do the coding or vice versa or whatever. You need to hire for where your target market, where your target need is, essentially.
Okay, okay. And also, email, like building an email list is very important when it comes to building an online presence, right? So, how do you get started with that? A lot of people struggle in this space, especially. So, how do you get started? What are some of the best
Yeah.
practices there? Yeah.
One thing you don't do is download your LinkedIn list and spam everyone that you're connected to on LinkedIn. I did that once, and that was a big no-no. But you just put out good content on your blog, and then you start up, getting known in the space, and you say, "Hey, I have a newsletter. I'd love for you to sign up. Here's a link to sign up to the Mailchimp or whatever." Also, put it on your website. Don't put it on as a full screen pop up, because that will really annoy Google. Put it as a slide in, put it at the bottom of your screen. I mean, it's a slog to get an email list, but once you get it going, it's gold.
Okay, okay. And how long does it take to get started with this? And uh, like, what are some of the best practices to grow the email list, especially?
I mean, giving away like a white paper, away honestly, checklists are awesome because they're quick to build.
Yeah, right.
Give a checklist out and have them sign up for your newsletter to get the checklist. Have it gated behind behind a checklist opt-in form. You get their email, they get the checklist. Everyone's happy.
Okay, okay. And how often should a brand or an individual post content uh, from their handle? Is there a limit?
Mm, don't do it every hour on the hour. Don't pull Gary V. But I mean, do it where it's sustainable for you. I mean, I would say do 2 to 3 times a week minimum, but you can do more if you can sustain it. Just be consistent.
Okay, okay. And what type of strategies has worked for you in building an online presence for your clients, especially? So, if you could share some case studies, that would be great.
Yeah, the biggest part of getting your clients out there, and one of them is a AI detection program that is based in the United States. So we have the whole gun issue over here, and it doesn't detect faces, just detects guns. And so we're advising them on their social media and how to, like, that's a fine line you have to tread in the United States. You have to kind of don't capitalize on what's going on, but like acknowledge it and say, hey, we have a solution. But don't be too salesy, but be salesy enough. So it's a tough thing to do. You have to post post appropriately, post empathetically. I think that's a word, with empathy, and you need to really just try stuff. And if stuff backfires, don't be like, oh my god, that's the end of my brand. No, just get it back up, dust yourself off, and keep going.
Okay, okay. And what type of clients do you help at Goldstein Media?
Yeah, our we have three segments with three verticals. A stage level. Now they don't have to be A stage, but A stage level startups that have the funding that they could put their big kid pants on and spend some money and work with us on getting the brand out there. Service-based industries where they're helping other businesses, consulting and helping other businesses grow. And the third one's biotech, because I live in just north of Philadelphia in the United States, and we're in the biotech capital of the world. So it's kind of a no-brainer to kind of go after that market.
Okay, okay. And let's say I'm looking to build a brand for myself. So, what type of resources or courses would you recommend for me or for people like me to get started?
Hmm. I would just say build out your profiles on social media. Build out a one pager. Go to card with two R's, CARRD.co. It's
Okay,
it's free. You get a subdomain, website. You build out your kind of your link profiles where you are online, and then what you do is you just start posting. And you just start sharing your knowledge and making yourself, look smart. Essentially, you have to exude who would why would someone want to work with you, and you have to kind of tell them in not so many words.
okay, okay. So, we have to become a thought leader in our space, especially. Yeah, that's what you mean.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
All right, all right. And how can, let's say, I have only little experience in marketing. Can I get started with building a brand for myself, or should I wait until I get that experience and then start sharing my knowledge out there?
I would start right away. I think there's no reason why you can't just use social media for your benefit. I mean, if you're working for another brand, you just kind of talk about the other brand a little bit if they let you, or you just talk about general knowledge about what you know. So, like I would talk about like what I know and how, in the space and go from there. That's kind of what I would do. Definitely start, everyone should have a brand
Okay,
online.
okay. And what are some of the brands that you admire from your point of view? Some of the brands
I,
that you,
I I actually, as much as I don't like their CMS per se, but I like their overall marketing strategy. I love HubSpot. I love how they're out there and they do a lot of inbound marketing for themselves. They walk the walk. I mean, and they eat the dog food, as we like to say over here. They try their stuff out before they sell it and all that stuff. I mean, Moz does a great job in the SEO space. So does SEMrush does a great job with kind of getting good content out there. I mean, SEMrush is a great example. I mean, so does Moz. They both put out videos. Moz every Friday. I mean, they put blog content out all week, but Whiteboard Fridays and they share the knowledge. And it's like you have to realize no one's competition. That's the biggest thing I had to learn in business is that other web designers, other marketers are not competition. We're all in it together, and maybe that marketer knows more about something than I do. So maybe I should bring them in and help and have them help.
okay, okay. And one last question for you is like, when do you know that we have established our brand? Are
What
there
was that? Sorry, what was that?
like when do we realize that we have established a brand?
When people start responding,
Okay,
when people respond and engage with your content, you know, you're starting to see your follower numbers go up. I mean, I hate that metric, but if people are starting to follow you and engage with you and share your content, that's when you know you have something. But that could be anywhere from a few weeks to a few months to a year to get that going. So you just have to kind of stick to it.
yeah, it takes time. Yeah,
It takes time.
all right, all right.
Yeah.
Right. All right, so we've reached the end of the episode, but before I wrap it up, let's do a quick rapid fire.
Okay.
So I'll ask you a series of questions, and you just have to give me answers from the top of your mind.
Oh, that's fun and dangerous.
Yeah. So the first question is, who do you follow the most on LinkedIn or any other social
Hmm.
platforms?
Unfortunately, I hate to say this, but Gary V. I mean, he's out. I mean, he's hard not to follow a lot.
Okay.
I like the guy. I've met the guy before. He's a nice guy. He just is very prolific with his content.
Yeah.
So you can't not see his content.
Yeah. 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 All right. And what works best? Is it videos or text-based content?
A little bit of both. I mean, I feel like videos are really get coming into their own right now, but video can also be. I'm very big on the one take. It is what it is. Video. Like if there's there's an if there's a big gaff, you just take it again. You don't edit it. You just kind of go back at it and try it again and do it until you like the way it sounds. And remember, when you put stuff on social media, it doesn't have to be perfect. We're not doing national public radio here. We're not doing it so as a U.S. reference, but you're not doing like public radio where supposed to look like this and blah blah blah. I mean, these are podcasts, these are videos, these are showing that you're human, but these are sharing your knowledge.
Right. Correct. I totally agree with that. Yeah. And let's say hypothetically you are getting your career started. So what would you tell to yourself? What advice would you give to yourself?
I would go back to the point is that no one's competition. That was like the biggest pitfall I had was thinking that other web designers are going to, are my competition. They're going to get that deal before I do and all that kind of stuff. And then I stopped, being my own worst enemy and thinking everyone's competition. I started getting good partnerships, good friends, and business started picking up because I realized that I'm not playing defense. Best defense is a good offense. The best offense is a good defense. Like it's a matter of like just keep your friends closer and your colleagues closer. I would say. I've realized that saying to change it up a little bit because no one's an enemy, but you have to just just realize that everyone can help each other out.
Yeah. And what's the one piece of advice you want to give it away to our listeners?
Just get started. Just get started. Get in there. Start sharing content. Engage, and also engage with other people's content as well. Pay it forward.
Okay. Okay. All right, Seth. So I have exhausted all the rapid fire questions, and this was absolute fun. Thank you so much for spending your time.
Anytime. This is fun. Thank you.
All right. I'll give your LinkedIn profile link and your company website link in the description so people can, connect with you later. And it was nice talking to you, Seth. Talk to you again.
It's always a pleasure. Thank you.
Okay, bye bye.
Bye.